Did you just unlock Amber and you really want to go carp fishing, but you just can't find the right carp setup to use? Well, that's what I'm here for today. I'm going to show you how to make the best carp rig possible at the beginner levels. So without any further ado, let's jump right on into today's episode. All right, we have our 3 rods right here. They are all equipped to go carp fishing. So let's see what I used. So for you beginner levels who just unlocked Amber, this is what you're going to want to get. So we have the Siberia caliber HSV. That's the most important thing, foremost, because if you have a reel lower than this, you're going to struggle on Amber Lake. That's just how it's going to go. So you want an HSV. After that, 79-pound or 80-pound snake heavy line, DGN, is going to be the most efficient line out there, in my opinion anyways. It's heavy, it's strong, it can reel in any carp that's out in that lake. And then we got our blinker, that's optional. And then this is very important, we got the Simmons lead core elastic brown camel, 70 pounds. You want to get the elastic. As the elastic, it makes it bouncy, so it takes all the pressure off your line onto your leader. So basically, when you go lift a really heavy carp up, it's going to bounce. It's elastic. You know what those do. If you put a fluorocarbon or any of those other not fluorocarbon, if you used, let's see, let's go to the story here and see what other lead cores you can use. But you really don't want to use them, but you can. Let's see here. So if you go to lead cores, so these are all the other ones you can get. I personally wouldn't recommend any other ones here except for the Simmons lead core elastic brown camel. This is going to be your best friend. It's going to make your life a hell of a lot easier. So the 70-pound one, 31.7 kg. This is the one you want. All right, get back to the rod here. Turn our flashlight on. It's getting pretty dark out here. All right, so next on is the weight. And this weight right here, you don't really need. I did went out and buy the most expensive weight possible, but you do not need this one right here. This is 130 grams. This is what, over 130 silver for one weight, but you don't need that. I'll show you what you can use instead. So if we go to rig components, and then we go to, where is it here? Sinkers. All right, so right here. So for beginner level, I would recommend one of these, the Helen Van Zent. These are really good for beginner levels. I've used them when I first unlocked Amber, and I had no troubles at all. Let's see. So you would probably want, I'd say the 70G or the 60G. These two I would pick from. If you can't afford that, then I would personally go up here and recommend like one of these. You know, you can get, let's see, a 70-gram flat sinker for 6 silver. Is it going to be the best sinker in the world? Absolutely not. But it's fine. It's not going to do you any harm by putting this cheap weight on your setup. It will work perfectly fine. You can also use this one right here, the West Hill Arrow Sinker. This one will also do you good. But if you want the most efficient weight possible at the beginner level, I would recommend the Helen Van Zent weight. Okay. Oh yeah, so this one too. You can also get depends where you are, where you're fishing. If it's very like sandy at the bottom of the lake, you can use clay. Or not clay, sand. This is sand, yeah. So if it's very sandy at the bottom of the lake, you can use sand weights. So it just blends in so the fish don't see it and be like, what the hell is this? And swim away. Yeah, so it's just so that the fish can't really see it. It blends in, but it honestly doesn't really matter. So that's the weights right there. Let's go back to our setup here. And then also very important is the braided line. A lot of people get confused over this and they think they can put a fluorocarbon leader on and you're good to go. Yeah, yes, you can use a fluorocarbon line, but I would not recommend it. Fluorocarbon is meant for like small to medium fish. It can do some large as well, but for carp, you do not want fluorocarbon. Do not get mistaken by that. You want the braided line. And braided line is not in the store. You cannot physically go buy the braided line in the store. You will need leader material, and you're going to need some clippers. So if we go into my inventory here, let's see where this is. So if we go to lead, do I have any left? I might have to go to line. Let's see. Lines. Okay, so I might not have any left. So we're going to go to the store, shop here, and then we're going to go to rig components, leaders. Okay, so the one that you want is, where's the red? I'm just going to type in red. All right, so here's the braided line that you need. You need the Solid Materials US braid red camo 15 pound. This is the one that you need. Most of the people out there use this. You can use other colors, but I find red to be the most efficient color. So once you get this, you might have to save up some silver because this is highly, highly recommended. I have not 13. I have the 36.2 kilograms. I have also ran with the 31.7 for a very long time, had no issues. But I went up to 36.2. I don't know why, just I don't try it out. But any of these two work, 31 or 36. But you need the red braided line. Okay, so you have the line. Now, the Canadian way, what do I do with that line? All right, well, I'll show you. So I'm gonna go into my inventory. I think I do have that. I think I do have that braid line. I couldn't find it earlier, but I think I have it. So if we go to leaders and we go to feeder leaders, okay, we're gonna want 60 centimeters. And yes, I am sorry, you're going to want to buy the what's it called, the Fiscarna fishing tool. It is also a little pricey, but it is recommended. You have to have this. So once you have that, we're gonna put in the 36.2 kilograms. Okay. Put that there, and then so that what this is 36.2, we're going to put in a 36 or 42. It honestly doesn't matter. So let's go put in a 42 kilogram. This is your material. This is what snaps it on and all that. So you definitely need this to make the leader. So we got 60 centimeter, we got our line, and we got our materials. So all we got to do is click make, and voila, there you go. Now you have your leader. 36.2 kilograms. There we go. Now you have what I have on this setup. All right, so there you go. Next on the line is your hooks. Now there is a wide variety of hooks you can use for amber. The one I go with is the Zenith Large. I also go with the WG hooks, the Ultra Series, Berserk hooks. It all depends on what you want. The more expensive the hooks, the more it's going to keep the fish on the hook. You can also go buy, see here, go to tackle store, we go to hooks. You can buy extra large. Okay, so with extra large, let's see, hooks, carp. You want to make sure it is carp hooks, not classic, carp hooks. Okay, so once you hear, you can get the extra large hooks, but what the extra large does is it targets trophy fish. You know, the bigger the hook, the bigger the fish, right? So if you put extra large on, you're most likely going to catch huge carp, but the bite rate is going to go significantly downhill. You're not going to catch left, right, and center big carp with the extra large hook. Extra large is meant for trophies. You might get them once in a rare blue moon, but the hooks that you want is the large. If you get large, you're going to get the mix because even the small fish will bite the large as well. But not really extra large. Well, they can, but it's pretty rare. So you want the large hooks. Medium will work fine, but I recommend large. So I went with the Zenith and the Berserk. These are more expensive hooks, so it's going to make the fish stay on stay on longer and not fall off. If you go buy a cheap hook like this one right here, well, it's a cheap hook. So most likely when you're reeling in that big carp, it's just going to fall off the hook. So that's kind of, there's a lot more to it as well, but that's one of the big things to it, from cheap hooks to expensive hooks, is all how the fish stays on. The more pointy the hook is, the more, you know, how well it's made. So yeah, I recommend these two, but if you have no money, if you spent your money on your silver on the clippers for the leader clipper and all that, and you bought the camo line for your leader, that might have sucked you dry of silver, right? I'm sorry, but it might have. It's a lot of silver that you need here. But if you absolutely can't afford it and you just want to go carp fishing, by all means, go get these small hooks right here. Go get the I'd recommend probably any of these three work. As long as they're large, it's fine. You know, so if you have no silver, go ahead. But if you do have silver, I do recommend at least the Berserk Hooks Ultra and then the Zenith. These work absolutely amazing. I rarely have a carp falls off my hook. And I also do have the most expensive is the Muga hooks. These also work very, very well. So there's the hooks. Now let's go back and see if there's anything else that we need here for a setup. So it doesn't look like it. We covered through all the things that you need. And I'm going to go back to this the line for a second here. You can use other line, like I'll show you here. Let's go back to the shop again. So if we go to lines, okay, scroll down here. You can use the Simmons Extra Silk if you want to. I've used it. It's just I wouldn't recommend it, but you can if you want. Use the Simmons Silk. You can use any of these, to be honest with you. You can use any of these, but the one that works most best, in my opinion, where is it here? Is the Snake line. There it is. So the Snake Power Braid GRN. You can also use the LIM if you want to as well. There's not really much of a difference. All this is color basically. So whatever you want, but I do prefer the Snake line. And make sure it is 300 meters. You don't want anything shorter than that, because if the fish goes way out in the lake, well, it's gonna go off. You're not gonna have that fish much longer. So I recommend these two lines. But you can go with this extra silk if you wanted to. If you went with the extra silk, you want at least, I would say, probably the 90 pounds or the 60. 60 is minimum. It's on the edge. I'd probably go with the 90. It all depends. Yeah, you can. I also use the C line. People think it's just for the C. It is not. I catch the same fish on this line as I do on the snake braid. It makes no difference. Yeah, so you can also use the C line. It also tells you how far your rig is out there too, because with the color line it tells you that. It's kind of cool. Yeah, so you can use whatever you want. You can use these, but I recommend the snake line. All right, so now let's go with the bait. What bait do I use? Okay, Canadian, I got my setup all done. I copied you, but now there's a million baits out there. What do I use? My brain is getting overwhelmed. I don't know what to use. I use the weeklies, but they're not working. Wow. All right, that's what I'm here for. I'll give you some active baits that is active on Amber at the moment, and I'll also give you some active spots so you're not running around the chicken's head cut off around the lake trying to find a spot. All right, so with the first bait, that's active right at this moment is the Craft Baits Garlic and Mussels 16 pop-up, Craft Baits Octopus 16 pop-up, and Mussels. This is my main setup, and it works amazing. It's really, really good. All right, so that's the first bait you can use. And if that somehow is not working, well, let's go to the... Oh, I didn't mean to pick that up. Oh, my bad. Is you can go to the second active bait, which is the Craft Bait Pepper and Mussels Pellets 18, the Old Pal Crab and Mussels 20 soluble, and then the Mussel Dip. This is another active one that people are using right now. On to the third. I do have more active baits in this, but I can only show 3 at a time. I only got 3 rods, but I try to pick the most active of the active. So the next one is I have actually caught lots of, and not too many people use this bait, but I don't know, maybe it's my secret recipe of my own, I don't know, but it works really good. It's the Smart Boilies Tuna 16 pop-up, Old Pal Squid Yellow, and the Old Pal Squid and Fish mix. This one does really, really well at times. You know, with this setup right here, or bait, it when it's hot, it's hot. When it's cold with this one right here. But it can be really good. All right. So those are the baits. And you're going to probably tell me, all right, you gave me the setup, but how do we know if it works? You know, how do we know if you're telling the truth about all of this and if your baits work? Well, I'm going to show you the after spots, and I'm going to fish at the after spots as well to show you that these baits do work. I'll be back at the very next active spot, which is, I'll show you the active spot. Where is it? So first one is about over right here. It's called the 132, and this is where I'll meet you. All right, spot number 1 is 132, 147. We already have a bite. We are right here, and then I am using for the first spot is Garlic and Mussels octopus, and mussels. So let's see what the first fish is going to be. Forgot to tighten up my tension. Oops. So first fish of the day. Common carp. Alright, you'd love to see it. Alright, we got our second fish on. Is he actually on? Yeah, I think so. There we go. Right, second fish on with this bait. The tiny little leather, but you know what? It's still a fish. Release that little tiny little thing back in the water, so one day it can grow up to be a blue tag. Alright. Alright. Let's see what else we can catch here with this bait. Alright, there we go. Got another one on. See, this bait does work. It definitely works at this spot. Oh, we got another one on the line too. 6.4 common. We are using clip 17. That is right. Once again, that's clip 17. Alright, we got a... Ooh, look at this. Alright, we got a runner. I repeat, we got a runner. And remember, the tuna bait and what's the other bait that I mentioned? The pepper, mussels, and crab. The bait will also work at this spot. I'm not going to show all the baits at every single spot. I'm going to show the first one, and it's going to be this spot. And then the second location, it'll be on a different bait. But don't get me wrong, all three baits do work at this location. Come on. Come on in. See what the elastic's doing? The elastic makes it bouncy, so it takes all the pressure off your rod and your line. That's why you want elastic lead cord. Oh, we got, my goodness, look at the bites. Line 1 and 3, oh my goodness. This bait is working well at this spot, I'll tell you that much. We got another runner. As I'll show you what I'm using, again, it's the garlic and mussel 16, octopus 16, and mussels. Clip 17. A lot of you asked for the clips in the videos, so, and I'm sorry, I apologize. I should say it more throughout the video, but this spot is clip 17. After we pull these ones in, I'll show you location number 2. Come on in. Another common. Yeah. Alright. 14.5 common. Just gonna put this away because we're not gonna catch any more at this spot. We're gonna move on. So we know this spot is active with the bait I showed you. 7.6 common. Alright, so we know that the fish are biting the spot with this bait and clip 17. So I'll be back at the second spot. Alright, we're at 81-141. This is where we are in the map. Instead of using peppers and mussels, I didn't know what they are not active right now. I thought they were still active, but they aren't. So instead of using the pepper and mussels, I am using the craft baits garlic mussel 16, mussel flavor green, and the mussel dip. So the only thing that changes here is the garlic and mussels and the mussel flavor green. So if you add this, it should be active for you guys as well. So first fish with this bait, let's see what it is. Tiny common, alright. All right. Line 3. Could have sworn that pepper and mussels was still active. I guess not. But that's right, because the mussel green is active with the garlic mussels. So, just replace it with that, and you should be fine. Alright, let's see what fish number 3 is. Come on now. And for this spot, it is clip 35. I repeat, clip 35. Wait, is it clip 35 or is it clip 30? Actually, I don't know. I'll check here in a second. 9.5 common. Nice, decent common there. Clip 30. So not clip 35. It is clip 30. Sorry for that mistake there. Alright, there we go. Alright, so this is active. Mussel flavor green, garlic mussel 16, mussel dip. It is active. We'll catch about 1 or 2 more fish here, and then we'll move on to the third and final active spot. Alright, line 1 and line 2 is going off here. Let's see what we got on at the end of the line. Almond carp, I think, yeah. 4.8, alright, not bad. Let's see what we got on line 2. And then we'll go to the third location. We'll use the tuna stuff and see what we can get on that. Another common, 6.2. You love to see it. Alright, I'll see you all at the very next location and the final location. 494. This is where we are on the map, and I am using the tuna 16 pop-up, Old Pal Squid Yellow, and Old Pal Squid Fish Mix. It's another active bait you can use. Works extremely well, and we have clip 35 at this spot. Clip 35. Someone got a trophy vendance. Nice fish. Alright. Let's see what the first carp is going to be. If any of you want to join my chat, I do have a chat channel called TheCanadianWays Friends. So if you want to join the family, if you want to join the chat to be active, or you want to join, you know, for a chill chat, come join us at TheCanadianWays Friends. It's a chill place to hang out. If you have any questions, we would answer it for you. It's a very, very helpful chat. So if you want to join, go ahead, and we'd love to have you. All right, so 3.5 common carp. There we go. All right, line 2. Sorry, I was AFK for a little bit. That's why it's nighttime now. I had to do some things, but here we're back now. And what's this one going to be? 2.4. Alright, I think this wraps up the video. I showed you the active baits. I showed you the active spots, 3 of them at least, and 3 different kinds of baits you can use. So, if you guys enjoyed today's episode, remember to smash the hell out of that thumbs up button, hit the hell out of that subscribe button, and I'll see all of you on the very next episode of Russian Fishing 4. Take care.